Welcome to this Markets Now special report. I'm Michelle Rook with Scott Varilek of Kooima, Varilek, and we call it a special because it's following the Friday USDA cattle on feed report. And the on feed numbers coming in at 99% placements, at 90%, and the marketing's number at 86%, all pretty close to expectations. So, Scott, give me your overall thoughts about this report, first of all.
Yeah, and I think the thoughts coming in weren't much that we were going to see much. So there wasn't a lot of hype behind it, I guess. So numbers all look in line with the estimates. It doesn't feel like this should be any kind of a game changer. You know, we've had the wild ups and downs in the markets just because they're nervous at these high prices, and this isn't going to add to it or change anything. The things I do like, yes, placements at 90%. Versus a 91 estimate. I mean, that's just kind of continually showing we've got tight numbers. You know, the numbers aren't there. The calves are not there. And there's some reasons we can look at why we think that. The on-feed number at 99, that always just keeps me scratching my head. I mean, we've had such leverage over the packer and them needing cattle and cattle not being there that I'm surprised that we're still at 99. That's
Yeah, me
always
too.
something I look at and I say, how, where are they? You know, be this far below a year ago on slaughter and still see a 99 is interesting to me.
So the placements at 90%, obviously, the southern part of the country continues to struggle with the Mexican border being closed, those feeders not being available. But when's the last time that we were at 90% placements? You said back in 2015?
Well, we're 82. The last time we had placements this low and marketing's this low as well.
Okay.
You're trying to correlate that. And it looks like 2015 is what some of these numbers are similar to. And what happened in 2015 is we were turning the crank. It was heifer retention time. We were doing it. It was going to stay high for a long period of time. It's going to take a long time to build the cow herd. So it's similar to that. And I want to blame some of it on that because I do think heifer retention is happening. That's part of the reason we're seeing these smaller placements and lower marketings. Those heifers are going back to the cow herd. We've got moisture. We've got incentive to do so, you know, with a really good market. And these guys have sold really, really hard. And now you also have a producer that's made a lot of money this year. We got to think about it from a tax perspective too. So maybe they have sold, you know, those steers and heifers before, but now you're getting such a big check on the steers. You're maybe not wanting to take all that income tax. So another reason to keep some heifers back, and maybe decide if you want to breed them or feed them. But I think we're starting to see heifer retention kick in, and that just kind of says light at the end of the tunnel. That it's a long road to get a calf raised into the plate, a couple of years. But we are starting to see it. And with that marketing number being this low, maybe we're more ahead of the game than we thought.
All right. So this is not just a function of that southern border being closed.
It's going to be part of it. You know, the slower placements. I mean, 82% in Texas, you know, that's still month over month that they've had that. So that's a big factor. But still, to see this number and just I think we're seeing some heifer retention, and you add in the Mexican border shut, those two together. I mean, that's why we're so antsy about this Mexican border, because if we do start growing the cow herd and we get another supply of feeder calves, that could be maybe double trouble happening there.
For sure. Before I go, I just want to put in a plug that we did have at least higher weekly closes in both live and feeder cattle futures this week. Does that help us with this healing process that we're in, you think?
I think it was a victory that we were able to get it higher, but actually an inside week compared to the last week's volatility. It was unable to, you know, eclipse last week's high or the week before's low. So we're kind of an inside week. It's a pretty small victory to me. I don't know if it's saying that we're out of the woods. We're going to be leaning on that southern cash. I think that's going to be a key thing. We see the cash feeders are still high, still doing some great things. And there's still some southern cash that's trying to get higher than 240. Haven't done it yet, but still some hope that maybe with all of these tight numbers in Texas that we can pop that through there.
Okay. Well, thanks for your analysis. As always, Scott Varilek with Kooima, Varilek, that is Markets Now.